Ta-da. All right, the reason I did that is so I could break out your introductions. Part of what we're going to be talking about today is why do you have business cards? You've collected them all, and if we can take a look, I have a few that I've collected in the past 2 months. That's what these are all from. So the last 2 months, business cards. So you wonder why I guess we start with this. Real quick, some housekeeping stuff. Ginny gave me 38 minutes. No, we have 20 something, 20, 30 minutes. So if you want to learn, the closer you sit up front, the faster the information gets to you. So you're going to learn first. Also, this can be the longest 20 minutes of your life or the fastest 20 minutes of your life. The difference is going to be how much you participate. So if I ask a question, nobody answers, we sit in silence, it gets weird. And then for the two that are standing, join a table, please. There's some information on there you'll need. I put some papers on the chair here if you want to sit in the back. And then we have another chair here, or I can roll one next to Ginny. That way you can kind of follow along. It's an activity. I think I left some stuff over there. All right, how many of you have business cards? We'll start there. Great. How many of you put it in the bucket today? Awesome. Everyone? Okay, so we're going to talk about business. Oh, there we go, Matt. So close on the floor. So we're going to talk about business cards because this is kind of your calling. So I understand some people do not have physical business cards. I'll just tell everyone right now, I am not a fan. I will not scan your card. I don't want your shit on my phone. Give me a physical business card. Two things I'm going to do with it. Gives me the ability to write on it where I met you, when I met you. And then when I follow up, I write on them. So if you read through these cards, there'll be notes on them of when I met you, where I met you, when I emailed you. If you don't get back to me, they go into this done pile on my desk until you do. So I say that because this is how we build relationships. And you can't win a door prize if you don't bring a card. But more importantly, it's hard for anyone else to follow up with you or know you. So there's going to be a couple of things we'll run through. I put them up on here, so that's why I say on the bottom, bring your business cards. It gives some vital information you don't have. A couple of no-nos on business cards is not putting your own email address and not having your phone number or your website. I see this on a tremendous amount of business cards. They don't have any information to contact them, or it's the generic one. Usually if I met you and I spoke to you, I want to contact you, not necessarily the company. We build relationships with people, not companies. We'll follow you anywhere you go if we have a relationship together. So make sure it's your contact information on a business card. So now that that is done, and I got my mean out of the way as far as non-physical business card, and I know there's watch tap in, and none of it. Zero do I like, because again, I don't want your crap on my phone. All right, so how do we follow up if we don't have that, and what does your follow-up look like? We had this last week. We talked about follow-up, and what do you do? So hopefully, if you were all here, we talked about it. Oh, and I got it. The other part is going to be that little bit of intro. So what I just did in the beginning, there is an art to introducing yourself, especially to a group like this. So we expect to see each other and build a relationship with each other every single week. So in order to do that, I need to know a little bit more about you and a specific situation that you dealt with in the previous week, because I see you every week. So anytime you're generic and you don't tell me who you're looking for, who you've helped recently, so that should be the story. So we break it down. You're going to start by telling me your name and business. Number two, we're going to talk about your topic, right? Does anybody remember what my topic was today? Odors, right? And then next, what was my story about? A gross house, right? Biohazard, blood, urine, feces. Did I ask you for anything?
Great referral.
A great referral. On who was that? Property managers. So, and then close. So if you do that every time, and every time you're in here, it should be a different person, a different story that you're asking. So that way I get to know more about your business over time. We're going to see each other every single week. So give me something different that is in your business and what's happening now. So normally I'm going to use a story from this week or last week or the week before, because all of our businesses go in cycles and clients change. So the same customer I had yesterday may not be the same one I had last week or I'm going to have next month. I guarantee you they're going to shift to be a different person. and wants and needs come into there. So I want to give you the story on who needs me right now. And with that, it's going to be property. Right now is college turn, in case you don't know. Means all the college kids are moving out, leaving their crappy apartments, and new ones are moving in. When that happens, somebody has to clean that or replace it. So that's why it's a great client for me right now. So keep that in mind. When you tell your story, give me who that ideal client is for you that you helped. Not someone you're making up, someone you already helped in the last week. That way I can determine, that type of person. So property manager, the more specific you get, the better we're going to be able to bring in referrals and talk about your business more and bring in that comfort zone. So real quick, that's how we talk. If you're going to do it for a group of people you don't know or a networking event you don't know, then you'll get specific in one spot. The same, still have the same story. Oh, wait, you don't change it. It's going to be the same because we're training each other on trigger words and how to bring me up in conversation. What the goal is when you network and you build relationships, you end up with 25 other salespeople in the same room. You should know enough about my business long-term because we've built a relationship to be able to refer me and know what I do. And sometimes more important, know what I don't do. So that's one. The second bit, when you're in a networking group and you've gotten that business card, you shouldn't spend the entire hour of the networking event with one person, right? How many of you have been to a networking event outside of this? Oh, so no one's new. All right, so when you go there, what is your go-to? What do you do? Do you have in your mind? Hide in the corner. I agree. If I don't have somebody with me to kind of drag me around, sometimes I can get that way too. So what else do you do when you get into that group and there's already 80 people there and you just walked in? Find the That's a good way to meet most of that crowd. What else?
I go to the person that's standing alone.
Oh, good job.
Talk to everybody in the room.
Talk to everyone in the room if you can. So 80 of them, probably a bit hard.
Right. So you try to talk to people you haven't met yet.
What? Do any of you do that? Talk to somebody you haven't met yet at a networking event?
Isn't that the point?
I would, maybe. What do I see normally at networking events? You're standing with a group of people you already know and have relationships with and already built. You're not looking out for other folks. So now you talk to them, you get a business card. What does our conversation look like? How long does that last? For you individually. Nothing, no wrong answers.
5 to 10 minutes.
5 to 10 per person?
Depends on how well we hit it off.
Okay. So
You have to gauge the person. Some people don't want to talk to people they don't know. So it's like, oh, fine, I'm Deb. This is what I do. And then I go hit the next one if they obviously don't want to talk to me. So.
get that. Who wouldn't want to talk to you, Deb?
I know.
I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. So I'll give you a little cheat sheet on what I do. I've been networking for 18 years. I have started multiple networking groups in Northern Colorado. I attend probably 10 or 12 a week. So I meet at least 500-600 people every week. Some are the same, some are different. I do the same thing. But one of the things we do is we qualify that person. Have you guys ever qualified someone that you're talking to? Yes. So give me an example. What would qualifying look like?
Well, pretty much like what they can do for them, for me, and what I can do for them, like vice versa. Like when I first met you, we were like, okay, you do floor repairs, I do flooring. My other side of my business, which is the real estate, so we can help each other there as well. And that's pretty much what I do when I go networking.
So you knew we were going to work well together because we have
pretty much, yes.
similar jobs. Yes, ma'am.
Someone who asks good questions, because sometimes if you go ask them and they are only talking about themselves and they never even ask you what you do, they might not be a great partner.
Or they're just brand new.
Yes.
They get nervous. So always nervous. We talk about ourselves. We would talk about ourselves, probably the worst thing we could do, right? Just like last week, if you heard me out, networking is like dating. The last thing you want to do is talk about yourself. You want to talk about the other person, find out more about them, get interest info. Otherwise, then yeah, I don't want to talk to them either because, dude, you're just talking about yourself. And then you're not there for what networking's there for. It's building a relationship. So, anyone else? How do you qualify? What do you ask? What is a conversation?
If they can answer with a solid answer.
Like what?
No wishy-washy. Just give me a solid. If you're coming from a place of confidence of I can do this, we can work together. I don't like wishy-washy. When I'm talking to them, maybe I can help you. That's not a confident.
Oh, like if they're just trying to be nice to you.
Yeah.
And we get that.
Genuine, solid.
Good.
I
Yes.
was going back to what you said about it depends on how long you spend with someone. For me, I go into networking on that building connections.
Mhm.
So if you are just, hi, I'm so and so, my business is this, and then you move on to the next person, you're forgotten for me. It takes more, I think, of a deeper connection, and maybe we connect on something that has nothing to do with business. Those are the ones that I tend to follow up with, and maybe that's not great on my end as a business owner because it's not so pointed, but I just feel like just hi, give me your card on to the next, hi, give me your card on to the next.
Right. Yeah, and we don't want to do that. That doesn't go off well because we're all going to do business with people we know, like, and trust. You don't know them if you haven't met them yet. So generally, I go through a little qualifier, right? So when I go and network and talk to people, I kind of qualify them first. Yes, no, maybe, future, or referral. Those are the 5 things I'm going to figure out when I'm talking to them. And yes, I'm only going to spend 2 to 3 minutes with you on either side. First, I'm just going to figure out who you are, what you do, and how I can help you. That's you figuring out one of those 5 answers. Yes, no, maybe, future, referral. I don't see there's an issue. We're networking. It is a numbers game. How many people in here, well, I just asked now, how many in here have actually used my service or business? How many of you have actually used RC Auto Detailing Carpet Cleaning as a service or a business? None. How many of you have I used or referred to? And you yesterday online tagged you in a guy needs to fill a house. Yep. So now you'll know. So I've referred to at least 5 of you in the room. So that's future business, but I see it as relationships we connect. And sometimes using me could be giving me a place to go in a new networking event I never knew about. I am as good with that because that's me building my professional network. That's a referral for me. So you referred to me. If you invited me to a group I never knew about, that for me is a win. It's a plus. It's worth us talking and going to do business more together. All right, so qualify. That's what I do with folks, and that's on both sides, just so we kind of know. And I know it's hard because it is extremely hard sometimes when I see brand new businesses, and I kind of feel for them. That's that same one that didn't ask you, that only talked about them, didn't ask you anything, sucked up all the time, and then they weren't specific about it. You didn't know what they were talking about. They were wishy-washy, right? They didn't say, yes, I can help you. Yeah, I can see where we could work together. Maybe you don't know. This meeting's not to really figure out in depth what you're doing and have a conversation. Networking's not meant for that while you're there. Networking's meant to get your information out, get information. You follow up. That's when you set up coffee meetings, you set up meeting after work somewhere on your own individually. That's where you learn about a person, not in a networking group. There's not enough time. And if you do, then you're missing out on opportunities because some people may not go to that group again, or you don't see them every week, or you don't. So the one thing you can do well is show up and be consistent at every group. If you're going to commit to a group, show up every time it meets. If you are too busy, then your priorities are off for that. That group's not for you, probably. There's not a too busy. You go to what you want to make time for. So if you're going to go somewhere, be consistent about it and show up when they have a meeting. All right, a couple other things we need to look at is setting expectations. For once you get that business card, why are we getting that business card? Hopefully we just went over that a little bit. For follow-up, we're going to tell them, so it's a little bit, it's going to be why we're getting it. It's going to be for follow-up, and it's going to be to answer the qualifying questions a little bit more in depth that we go into. So make sure you're bringing business cards because, yeah, scanning just takes too much time. Too much time. And again, I don't want you in my phone. Just because we met somewhere doesn't mean I want you to have my personal phone number. I don't know, like, and trust you that much.
Unreliable internet.
Yes, where you can't. Well, you had that issue. It's here. You're sitting in unreliable internet. All right. So then there's going to be so this whole thing should be over like a 5-day class. Sort every one of these topics is probably an entire day of us chatting and getting to know you and your business a little bit better, or at least an hour over it. So there's going to be a few things that we have to do right when you're networking. And how many of you in here are wearing a name tag? 2. There's 2 of us. Do not show up to a networking event without wearing a name tag. Any reasons why?
Because you get the name as soon as they say it.
Right? If I don't see a name tag on you, you are not approachable to me. Because I am one that networks with a lot of people, a lot all over the place. And if I see a name tag, it's going to be that ding. I'll remember faces. I don't remember your freaking name. And sometimes if I don't have that partner like Jenny next to me to go, hey, this is Jenny. If somebody she hasn't met, she says her name, they introduce themselves, then I don't want to go up and talk to you because I'm like, damn, what is her name? What is her name? Forget it. I'll catch her later. Maybe she'll say it in the group. So go buy a $10. These are $10 name tag from whatever trophy shop or name tag place you go to or Award Alliance, wherever it is, go buy a name tag. It makes it much easier for people to want to talk to you. They're going to remember you. It just makes it easier for me to come back up and make conversation. Again, I see 500 people a week. Faces I remember, names take a minute. If I don't know your name, we probably haven't built that much of a relationship yet. So wear the name tag. Make it easy. Don't make me fight to get to know you. Does anybody here have a great reason they don't wear one? Or any reason? Yes. 2. Great reason. You don't have one. But now you will, right? Yeah. So what? So you will, and you say yes. So what is that? Reticular activities. Do you guys know what those are? Reticular activities. So you can convince yourself of anything you want to do and you want to be. So if you go, yes, I'm getting a name tag, I'm going to wear a name tag, guess what that puts in your head? Yes, I'm getting a name tag, I'm going to wear a name tag. It works in everything. So how many of you have seen anything green in this room?
Yep.
A little bit of green? So green is obviously my company's colors. My green's my favorite color, is why I chose it. So I don't drive a green car, but I got a big ass green sticker on the side of it. So green stickers, green cars. So now when you leave here, you're going to be seeing this green everywhere because we're talking about green. And green is an awesome color. So as you go out, you're going to see green everywhere because I'm putting it in your head that you're going to see green. Money's green. That's a great color. So reticular activity. So if you say you will, you will. If you say you won't and you can't and you don't understand why, that's going to continue. Who is it? Henry Ford. If you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right either way. So thinking you can, creating that reticular activity, telling yourself that you're good enough, telling yourself you're a great speaker in front of 25 other people, you're going to be a great speaker in front of 25 other people. You're going to create that echo chamber where everybody around you is going to go, yes, you are good at that. Yes, you do wear a name tag everywhere. Yes, you do have business cards. So it's the little things we do every day. So it's what we do, how we do it. Name tags should have, just your name, name and info, name and last. That's why I only put my first name because I don't want it. You don't need my last name. Then my name would be so tiny on this name tag. So name tag, the way you dress, whether you're on time to the meetings that you show up to. All of these things are reticular activities. So if you tell yourself you're always on time, you're always on time. Most people don't say that to themselves, do you? Does any of you know someone that shows up late to anything?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do? Who is it?
My wife.
Your wife's late to everything. What does she say normally? Or does she even have to say anything?
I'm almost ready.
Yes. Yes.
My daughter says, I was a time optimist.
Time optimist.
But sometimes she's not that much of a time optimist, and she's on time.
All right. See, so if we say we're going to be on time, if we say we're always early, guess what? It's going to start subconsciously making you on time or making you always early.
I have to share, my dad was military, so I grew up with hearing this at least once or twice per week. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late, and to be late is unacceptable.
Perfect.
Thanks, Dad.
Right? 15 minutes on time, or 15 minutes early is late, on time, or 15 minutes early is on time is late. Late is you miss the bus, the referral, the business and the respect of the folks that you just walked into the room with. So that's how I see it and heard it. My dad's Marine Corps forever and I got it beat into. So be on time. Tell yourself you're going to be on time. It's going to happen. Next, be prepared. So wherever you go, be prepared. When I say be prepared, that could be anything, right? Pocket knives. I got a saw on mine. I keep matches in the car. Dude, I have carpet pad and extra carpet for a job we're going to do after this. Duct tape, tape, stickers, bunch of extra business cards. Be prepared. Pens. You want to write something? I gave you all a pen today. Be prepared. Be prepared for a presentation you may not know you had to give because the person that was giving it didn't show up. Does that happen in any groups you've been in?
Mm-hmm.
A lot. So my goal in my head, I'm like, you know what? It happened once and I was there and I didn't have something. Ever since, anytime in any network group I'm in, I can step up and be the presenter. I've already done it. I've tested it. I've tried it. I've studied it. I've made sure it fits the time frame. So next, be prepared and then be on purpose. Know where you're going, what you're doing, and why you're going there. So that's part of collecting those business cards. And then what do we do with them? It's that follow-up. You're writing on them. And when I talk about follow-up, how quickly should that be with a business card you just got from the networking event?
That day.
That day. What? 48. 24. 48. Pick a number and make that it. So anything you do consistently is what you need to do. So if it's 24 hours in your world, do it in 24 hours. If it's 72 hours, do it in 72 hours. As long as you put it in your head, I follow up with every client within every card I get within 72 hours, you're going to follow up because it's a reticular activity. Then you're going to follow up with every client every time within that time frame. For me, 24 hours. Do we do business hours? Do we do weekend hours? Do we do the following day? But what if it's a Friday? Do you follow up on Saturdays? No. So it depends on who you want to be known as that business person, right? What does that follow-up look like? Are you just following up by hand? We did the whole thing on it last week. So be prepared, bring business cards, figure out why you do what you do. Why did you come to this meeting today? To learn. Hopefully to make money, right? So anything, number one reason we show up to networking events, we show up to training because we hope it's going to make us better at making money. If we didn't need to make money, we wouldn't probably be. I wouldn't see any of you. If you didn't need to make money or sell something in your business today, you wouldn't be listening to me. So usually our number one's to make money, and then you find your number two. Your number two is generally going to be your purpose. This is personal, business, or for me, you blend them together. They're all exactly the same. Mine is to create the habits I need to become the person I want to be, to learn and share. That's my purpose. That's why I do things. That's why my company does things. We sit down and talk to our staff. It's to learn and share. Create the habits you need so that way you don't have to think about it. Muscle memory, reticular activities. That's what make these. Getting up early in the morning. That's what make these happen, is you make them happen. All right, so in front of you is going to be some sheets about you. It says you in the middle. Then you're going to put your business in there. So once you have these business cards, now it's time to build your network. Your network is a group of at least 3 deep on everyone on there of people that not only know, like, and trust you, that you have spent the time, sat down with, and trained them on how to refer you. So they're not part of your team until you've sat down and trained them what trigger words to listen for. How do I know how to refer to your business? If you haven't trained them and taken that time, don't expect a referral from them. So on this sheet, at your tables, I'm going to give you the rest of the time to work together and come up with your power partners, which is what this truly is. Any questions before we break you up? Easy enough. Thank you for having me, Jenny. All right, I'll let you guys get to work.
Okay, so can you clarify what all you want us to kind of do with this?
You're in the middle. So I just broke them into categories of normal business groups. So you should have at least one person for every category that's on here that you have trained to be your business team, on your business team.
Yeah.
So if you haven't gotten that there, put down some wish lists, take some of the business cards that you've had today and use those.
Awesome. Do you want to do the
Giveaway stuff?
giveaways now, or do you want to do it at the end?
Sure, we can do that now and let you get back. Where'd it go? All right, we're giving away 2 things today. One is going to be the book Networking Like a Pro, and the other is a $100 gift card and some swag to Arciato. They help sponsor today.
All right, who's getting lucky?
So the book,
Dane.
dang, Networking Like a Pro. All right. And next for the $100 gift card, pocket knife, being prepared, and awesome.
Thank you.
Ta-da. And you get a bucket, little wash rag. It's supposed to look like I'm doing something for work. Thank you all for listening to me.
Thank you, Robbie.
Something that Romy did the day after I met him, so I met him here, we talked, and he sent me an email the next day that said, I just want to thank you for being so welcoming. So it was a very authentic email, and I really appreciated it. And I think that's the kind of networking that builds relationships as opposed to, hey, would you like to know how much your home is worth?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Romy has been really amazing. You can tell if you follow him around enough to see how good he is at networking truly. So utilize what he's shared. I got a lot out of it, so thank you, Romy. And as far as in our groups, we only have maybe 6 or 7 minutes. You can find out where everybody is kind of in this category, but also maybe start to talk about how you can better speak to each other to help be better referral partners, which includes, like Romy said, how do I want you to refer me, right? When you find somebody who needs to buy a house, right, what kind of client is really going to be the best so you know, and then how to speak about me, right? What am I going to actually help them out with? Because you're going to be different than somebody else with your same job title. So maybe you can just speak that in these few last minutes. It's just, how do you want somebody to refer you? And then, of course, when you meet one-on-one, you'll get more in depth with that. Does that sound good? Groovy.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, Jenny.